Okay, so I heard you want to manifest something you truly want in your life. Maybe it could be a dream job, a perfect body, or maybe just anything you want. Or let's say you want to change something in your life that you do not want at all. And I'm sure all of us are aware about these three steps of law of attraction. That's asking, believing, and receiving. And when it comes to asking part, you would have seen this couple of videos on YouTube that says how to manifest this, how to manifest that using scripting method, 555 method, 369 method, you name it. Because even I have done that, tried it, but whatever I wanted, I never got because I was missing this one element that most of us are not aware of. And I'm going to be talking about exactly what it is, and that is the force of love. Trust me, when I got to know about this concept, my life became so much easier. Like, whatever I wanted, everything, I manifested it. Everything you want or want to be comes from the force of love. And without this power, there would be no positive force to propel you to wake up in the morning, to go for work, to listen, to dance, to sing, or to learn any new thing at all. And trust me, without this power, you would definitely be a statue. Okay, so the positive force of love can create anything good and increase good things. And it can also change your negative feelings as well. Why? Because you have the power over you. And this positive force of love has the capability to improve your health, your wealth, your career, your relationships in every area of your life. Why? Like I said, the power of love is already inside you. But then if you have the power of love and it's already inside you, then why isn't your life so magnificent? Why isn't every day of your life filled with joy? And why don't you have everything that you want? Well, that's because you have this beautiful term called as choice. You have a choice whether to love or harness the positive force of love or not. And whether you realize this or not, you have been making these choices every single day of your life. Without expectation, every single time you experience something good in your life, that's because you gave love to it. You harnessed the positive force of love. And every single time you experience something not so good in your life, that was because you had lack of love. You gave lack of love to it. And that's the only reason why you were feeling like that. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can manifest that specific desire to you just by focusing on this 3 simple steps of creation process. And I've mentioned it down here just in case if you want to jump into that part. But I would suggest you make sure you watch all of these. And moving on with the first one, that is, stop being jealous. And this is so true. The reason why I say this is because initially when I got to know about the law of attraction, I knew that I had to think positive. I knew that I had to imagine or visualize like it's already mine. But still, I was very much away from getting what I wanted. Now that was because I had a lot of jealousy in me. And that was the only reason why I wasn't able to get what I want. And now to simplify it much more precisely, now let's say you want to manifest an ideal body. Okay, and you have been doing these affirmations and you have also been trying to program yourself to think positive. Now you do this for a week or so, and then later on you come back into your old habits. Okay, and then you come across a person in a social media or just randomly walking by and you notice that they have exactly the body that you dreamt of. But chances are at that moment of time, instead of thinking good, what you did, you were like, no, oh my God, her body is so good. She is so fit. I wish I could be like her. Like, I'm trying all of these things, but nothing has been working out for me. You see? Now that was because you choose to think negative, choose to be jealous. But little did you know that the universe was trying to present that thing in front of you just to see what you would choose. And what did you choose? Negativity and jealous. So instead, act like you received it. You are the one who's having it. Because remember, anytime you hear somebody receiving what you want, get excited for it. Feel happy for them. Be happy for whatever they have. Because the first thing that's coming in front of you, it's because you are in the same frequency. So if you react with joy and excitement, you are in the same frequency of attracting more success, more money, more fitness in your way. or if you react to that particular situation with a lot of negativity and a lot of jealousy, you are saying no to whatever the signs the universe is trying to show it to you. So you're saying to no to more success, you're saying no to more money, you're saying no to more fitness. Okay, so next time you hear somebody getting a promotion at their job or winning a lottery, or let's say you came across somebody who has all the qualities you wish you could have, and at that moment of time, what are you going to do? Get excited for them. Show love to them. Be happy for them. Because, dude, firstly, even they would have worked hard to get where they are in life. So there's nothing wrong in being happy for others. You're basically attracting whatever the other person has into your life. And remember, law of attraction always says this one thing. Whatever you give is what you receive. So you better give positivity, happiness, joyfulness, excitement to whatever you want to attract. Okay, now let's say you are at your classroom, you're at your office, you have this one particular person whom you cannot stand. And I would say in simple words, he or she is a complete pain in your ass. And what you do is basically you show out negative emotions. And once you show out negative emotions, obviously that person is going to react negatively towards you. So at that moment of time, what you choose is what you're going to attract. You see, I believe all of us have good and bad qualities. But what we focus on is what the reaction from the other person is going to be. At that moment of time, I know it's going to be hard for you to focus on something good. But I would say that you try to focus on at least one or two good things so that you attract more positivity towards you. Now, one more thing that helps me is that, let's say, just that particular person is being a pain in your ass. Okay, and that moment of time, instead of focusing on that particular person, you can focus on your surroundings. You can focus on the people who are actually good with you, who are encouraging you, who go ahead in life. You can focus on those kind of people. And when you focus on that, you tend to be more grateful for what you already have. And so basically, I can give an example of what happened to me was that basically in my office, every next month, they actually give kiddos to all those people who have been working hard, who did a really good job in the past month. So for 2-3 months, I was just noticing people. And I used to visualize like, oh my God, it would be so nice if my name was here. But at that moment of time, I wasn't aware of this concept. So what I used to do, I used to be like, they're so lucky they have this. Like, I've been working hard, but my name is not there in the kiddos list. And so what I did is basically the moment I got to know about this concept, I used to actually go and congratulate them. I used to be like, oh my God, I'm so happy for you for receiving this, for receiving this such a big compliment from the supervisor, from the manager. And how happy they used to be? They used to really give me positive emotions. Like they used to be so happy that I actually reached out to them separately and complimenting them. And you know what happened the next month? My name was in the list. I was so stunned to see this. I couldn't believe my eyes. I did not expect this would work out such fast. So I would suggest, I'm saying this from my own personal, I would say, experience. So I would suggest you try this, show positive emotions to that person, and trust me, you're going to get back the exact thing you have been choosing for all this time. Now, the second way you can attract a specific desire to you is by being a go-giver. Now, the reason why I say that is because the more you give, the more you receive. You see, giving is an act of kindness. It's like showing love. And the more love you give, obviously you're going to receive back more of love. Okay. And so what I have heard this, like what my parents always tells me is that, Amisha, make sure you give to people. Make them feel important. Make them feel loved. And don't expect anything in return. Just make them feel important, because whatever you give, you're going to get back in abundance. And that's the beauty about it. Make sure you don't expect anything. Just genuinely give them, make them feel happy. Okay, so there's this one story I would really like to share from the book Power, obviously. And it really changed my life when it comes to giving. Okay, so in this, what happens is that the author, he was in a huge debt. And he actually was, making this movie The Secret. I think most of you all must be aware of that. If you're not, I would suggest you go and watch that movie, like legit right now. If you want, you can pause this video or don't watch this video at all, but I would suggest you go and watch that movie, please. Okay, so basically that author was in a very huge debt, and every now and then there were a couple of people who would come by at his door and he would ask him more money for the rent purpose, but he wasn't able to do it. He started to feel very bad about money, but he knew that if he wants to attract more money, he has to feel good about it. So what he did was, like, I mean, it requires a lot of guts to do that. So what he did, he had just a couple of dollars in his bank account. And what he did is basically whatever money he had in his account, he gave it to people. Not because he knew he would get back, but because he wanted to show love towards money. And the more love he could give to that money, he would get back in abundance. So what he did, he would give it to people, and he used to see them like being so happy because some random stranger is giving me money. And when he did that, within next week, he got the money in abundance. So basically he got, I think like $25,000, something close to that in his bank account. And that was like a huge miracle. Now, how was that possible? Was because I think he said there were a couple of shares that I think an year back which he and his friends did together, but it just skyrocketed all of a sudden. And they called him up that, if you would like to, put your money into somewhere else. But since he got that money, he was like, this is crazy. I was so inspired by the story. I was like, this is so true. We all need to apply in our life. And there's this one more example that I can give you, which works like magic. Now, let's say you're struggling with money. Let's say you have some issues with money. What you can do is, instead of actually giving money, you can visualize like you're giving money to someone who's in need. And you can see how happy that person is receiving that tons of money. So just visualize it. And when you do that, trust me, it gives you happiness. And I tried this. I saw this one particular person on the street, and she was having some really bad health issues. And at that moment of time, I didn't know how I could help her. So what I did is I actually visualized like, helping her or giving her some sort of money, or, just thinking good about her, how I could help her, and visualize it over and over again. And when I did that, I felt good. And there was one thing how made me realize I was in a very high frequency was because I read this thing in a book, okay, in which the author says, for example, now let's say you're in highest frequency. Let's say you're the person who is giving positive emotions to others. But how would you know that you are in the same frequency as the universe is? So basically, you ask for a sign. Now you could ask anything. Okay, so I asked universe a sign that, if I'm in a very high frequency, I want you to show me pink flowers. Okay, and since that day, I actually was showing out positive emotions, giving positive emotions to people. Even if I wasn't able to help them, I was genuinely thinking positive about them. Okay, and that very single day, that very single night, you're not going to believe this, my dad got pink flowers. And I was like, I was stunned because my dad getting pink flowers, it's like very rare. He just gets it during the time of festivals or if there is some certain occasion. But that was so random. So random. I was just stunned to see how the universe works. So if you really want to see that you're in a top frequency, if you're in a frequency of love, I would suggest you can take any random sign. I mean, the last thing I would think of would be a pink flower. So I just told the universe, I want you to show me pink flower. And I got that. Now, the next way to attract a specific desire is to prop yourself up. So when you're using the creation process, I want you to imagine all the things you possibly can to generate the feeling that is already with you. So whatever you want, use your imagination. Create games and play with it. So for example, let's say you want to lose weight. You want to be fit. You want to have six packs. So imagine yourself having that kind of body already with you in the present moment. Surround yourself with pictures of great bodies. Surround yourself with healthy food. The trick here is that you must imagine that this is yours and not anybody else. So what you can do is basically Photoshop and Photoshop in such a way that you feel it's yours and look at it every single day. So I think most of you all would have not noticed, but even if you did notice, in the beginning of the video, I actually had a pimple over here. And it got a little worse, and then I was occupied with my work and different things, and that's the reason I wasn't able to shoot in between. But at that moment of time, what really helped me was I actually started to imagine that my skin is already healing, even though I was kind of breaking out from here, but I still imagined that my skin is the best I could possibly imagine of. And I kept my profile picture has my beautiful skin, so that I could look at it every single day and imagine it's already mine. Now, for example, you have that ideal body like right now. How would you walk? How would you talk? What kind of clothes you would wear? You would obviously wear things like which you would feel comfortable in, right? Which you would definitely want to show off your body. So start wearing those kind of things. Prop yourself up in such a way that you already have that kind of body and you're wearing that kind of clothes, so that people can see, okay, you have changed. Even if people don't believe it, that's just for you. You see, you have to impress yourself, not anybody else. You have to make yourself feel comfortable that you already have what you desired. And that's how I was able to do it. So when I had bad skin, I was very much conscious to actually go to functions. I was very much conscious to actually even go and show my face. At that moment of time, what I do, or even now, is basically I actually imagine that my skin is already beautiful and people are looking at me because my skin has healed drastically. And one more thing which helps me a lot is that now, for example, it's been like a couple of months since I'm waking up early and going for a jog every single day in the morning, except for the weekends. So I feel very lazy to actually wake up and hit the road. And that's when I imagine my highest version of myself, okay, the best version of myself possibly can, and how she would dress like, what she would wear, how she would talk. And then while I'm sleeping, I actually imagine that she coming up next to me and looking at me, like staring right into my eyes, and she is like, what is this? Get up, you have dreams to chase. And that's how I imagine that, okay, if my best version of myself would be in the present moment, I think she would never let me sleep. And that's the reason I wake myself up and I go and work out, I go and actually do the things my highest version of myself would do. One more thing that has helped me very much to get my specific desire to me is basically I draw a circle. And even this I learned from the book Power. So I draw a circle in a sheet of paper and I put a small dot. Now let's say I want to manifest beautiful skin, okay? Even though my skin is bad, I know that what I can imagine is what I want to manifest is just a piece of dot in this entire universe. So when I began thinking it's very small, automatically I would think it's very easy. So I don't have to worry about it. I can manifest this easily. I just have to put work into it and imagine that is already there within me. So that's how something works for me. Like these two things, you can try it out and this works like magic. So that's all with this video. I hope you all liked it and I hope it was very much value added. And if you want to learn more about it, and if you want to understand much more deeply with a lot of examples and lot of insights, I would suggest you read this book. Because this book has literally changed my life. It's changed my life very much. I think this will be one of my top favorite books. And yeah, I think you should definitely read it. So yeah, that's all for this video and I'll see you in the next video.